Hello folks, this is Johnny again, and today let's talk about lead tones, clean tones, and guitar layer tracks and whatnot from our latest album Revive. So let's just start off with the lead tones, or the solo tones, whatever. I think that's probably next to the rhythm tones and the drum mix one of the more important things. So let's just check out the solo here. Okay, let's check it out by itself. Yeah, and here already you can see in this little part I have the wah pedal inside TH3 turned on, and then I used my Behringer, wait, what's it called again? FCB 1010 MIDI controller pedal thingy, and I used the pedal just to, you know, do the line. All right, let's check out the tone here. So first of all, again, TH3, and again my mouse likes to mess with me. So pretty straightforward. The tube screamer going into the dual rectifier, going to the rectifier cap. All the other stuff is turned off in here. I really like the dual rectifier for lead tones because it has a kind of wet and smudgy feel to it, and you have this kind of smudgy pick attack. If you want to have a bit more of an even character and something more modern, I would probably rather recommend the Engel amp in TH3, but I personally really like the dual rectifier for this. Yeah, and then this goes again into the tape desk. And then a little bit of EQ, just giving it a bit more presence up there, and that's it. Then, what's probably more interesting about this is all the FX channel it goes to. We have 3 in total. So first of all, we have a small reverb. Where is it here? Small reverb. First of all, some filtering, so the reverb doesn't get all muddy and not too sharp up there. I sometimes like to put the filtering before the reverb instead of after. It feels a little bit more natural to me that way. But bottom line, again, it's not a thing that will make or break the mix. It's just a tiny bit of nuance. And then, oh, come on, here we have Reflector. I really like this plugin. It has a lot of great reverbs going on. Here, just a small studio room, 1 second thingy. Hang on, let's try to solo that channel. So, small reverb. Let's turn on the solo. So this is now the solo without any of the effects. Then turning on the small reverb. This is just to give the track just this tiny initial sense of space and depth and width. Nothing too special, nothing that obviously gives it a roomy effect, just this touch of space that is recorded in, so it's not too dry. And then we have a slap delay. It's over there. Let's solo that. So here I have this H delay at 160 milliseconds delay, turning on the low fi filter and whatnot, just again to make it a bit more subtle. I don't really want this to fight with the original track. I just wanted to give it this extra layer in the background, and for that I'm taking out some top end and some lower end so it doesn't get too muddy and too mushy and it doesn't get too harsh up there. And then this is followed by, again, this small studio. I like to put a little bit of reverb on my slap delays, so also the delays get this touch of extra space to them. Now let's check out the solo with the slap delay. Also together with the small reverb. And then for the delay, this is pretty straightforward. If it would turn on, okay. Here I'm using the replica. I really like this because of the white setting. So this delay isn't just that centered and mono and kind of boring sounding, but with the white setting you get a bit more space in there, not just in the depth, but also in the width. And I really like that. Again, some high cutting and low cutting, just to make sure it's not fighting too much with the original track. Yeah, that's that. Pretty straightforward. Now let's check out the ambient lead tone. For example, back here in the verse. This is also pretty straightforward. Again, TH3, this is pretty much the same tone. It's exactly the same tone as the lead, as the solo tone, and then again tape desk, and again some EQing, nothing special. This is actually pretty much the same thing as the lead tone. And then here just cutting out a nasty frequency up there. And then this has a pretty long delay at a half note and a big feedback, and again the white setting. And then this is going to a big reverb. So let's see, where is it? Big, there it is. Again, just the filtering and then the reverb. Here's a long plate. Nothing too special, but it gets the job done. Now let's check out the clean tone. So here I'm using the bass face, which is the Fender Bassman. For this clean tone, I'm using the Tube Screamer to give it a bit more edge, a bit more of that gritty mid-range feel. And then for this tone and this song, I'm also using this phaser for a bit more of a 90s alternative rock feel. And the Vibro, or it's exactly called 2x10 OB Vibro. And this is really good for getting a sparkly, high-end, smooth tone, but it also has a very rich low end. So this is pretty much my go-to for cleans, and then this is followed by a chorus, another one, just to... I'm not sure why. Well, I guess just to give it a bit more space or something. Again, tape desk, and then some EQing, just taking out some of that lower range so it doesn't get too muddy. And then this is going to a mid-range reverb. There we go. So as you can see, I have a bunch of stuff going on for the guitars. Just a regular delay, a slap delay, a small reverb, a medium reverb, and a big reverb. And this medium reverb, again, just filtering beforehand. Here, this is a medium hall. So let's check that out. So this is just to give the guitar a natural feeling space. But I wanted it to be a bit bigger, a bit more obvious than the small reverb, which just adds this initial bit of depth and width and nothing really else. But this one has a bit more of an obvious space, and the big reverb, a very obvious, big kind of ambient space. And the slap delay is usually just to thicken things up. Okay, and lastly we have these second pairs of rhythm guitars. Let's check those out. So for these, I'm using exactly the same tones on the left and right guitar as on the main rhythm guitars. I do this basically because these tracks are supposed to be more of a unit together with the main rhythm guitars. I don't want them to be too separate. So I also didn't dial them in as a lead tone. And also on other songs on this album, actually these two sets of rhythm guitars build complete chords together. And to make them feel more like a unit, I of course needed to use the same tones so it really melts together. But on the bass channel, for the second pair of rhythm guitars, I don't EQ them as hard as on the main rhythm guitars. Also the notching here is a little bit different. And then here a little bit different EQ. Here I'm boosting around 4K. Back here I boosted 2.7. So while I used the same tone, I didn't EQ them identically because I still wanted to have a little bit of separation so they don't fight too much with each other. But I still wanted them to be similar enough that they build a unit. So that's my approach here. And then these also again go to the medium reverb and the delay. So let's take those in. So this puts them a little bit further back in space and keeps the main rhythm guitars a little bit more in the foreground. I kind of like doing it like that. So is there anything else going on in here? No? That's pretty much the setup for this song, and this is pretty much the basic setup for all the songs. It's just some individual specific stuff that may be a little bit different from song to song, perhaps a clean track more or a lead track more, and perhaps dialing things in just a touch differently depending on the song. But bottom line, this kind of scheme is going through the whole album. Alright, and that's it for this video. Next video we'll be looking at the bass guitar, and as I said last time, this one is something to look out for. So I hope you enjoyed this, and now I wish you a good one, and I will see you next time.